welcome. Y'all know what time it is. It is Super Bowl Sunday, the national holiday. I'm your boy Shawn Xavier alongside Earl, Eric, and Dave. This is the Hot Seat Podcast special, the big game pregame show. Make sure you guys follow us on Instagram and Facebook at the Hot Seat Podcast. We're streaming to you live on YouTube, Twitch, Facebook, wherever you following us up, man. Make sure you subscribe to the show. We appreciate your support. Subscribe. Fellas, how we doing, man? Y'all ready? It's another whole year of Super Bowl festival. I feel like the season went really fast. Or was it just me? No?
I'm sorry, I'm laughing at this guy. Change his background.
He will pick it right now, man. Look,
I'm like, really?
They got houses like that in Jersey?
Yep.
Yeah, I can't afford it now.
I like it.
Say, that's your house, homie. Hold on.
I like it.
I can't afford it.
What's up, Webster? Absolutely. I got the mimosa in hand. Yes, sir. Yeah, it's go time. This is like Super Bowl Sunday. We always talk about it sometimes. You say, it's 5 o'clock somewhere, but Super Bowl Sunday is literally the day that you start drinking, depending on if you're doing it or not, early. Like right after you eat breakfast, it's like, all right, let's get this thing cracking. Let's go. I've been already grilling already, get it going. I'm doing a lot of stuff going on. So basically, us, man, we're going to be with you guys for the next hour and a half or so, talking about all type of this Super Bowl stuff, man. The chat's going to be wide open. Feel free to interact, whether you're, prepping, whatever you're doing. I know there's other pregame shows on. And then after that, come on back at 3 o'clock, man, for Over the Hump Big Game Special. I'm your resident DJ doing that time up until to kickoff time. So, fellas, y'all ready to talk some Super Bowl, man?
Yeah, man.
All right. I'm
sad day, though. It's the ending of something, you know what I mean? So, nothing gets me like football.
It's nothing. It's nothing like
hopefully
it, man.
This XFL thing can do something, but it ain't going to be NFL. So.
Right. It's that time of year you figure out, you're like, damn, now I'm going to I ain't got no more excuses on Sunday why I can't go to this brunch with her or nothing now.
No, I'll figure out something.
I'll figure out something. Baseball, spring training just started. Kevin Durant got traded. Whatever it might be. Whatever it might be, man.
We got the all season on Madden.
Yeah, there you go. That's always a good one. So, of course, man, it's Super Bowl 57, man, live from Arizona this year. And it's the Kansas City Chiefs at the Philadelphia Eagles. It's funny always how they said that who's the home team and the away team. It's all, at the end of the day, it's all, I guess, a neutral feel, depending on where you're on. Well, I guess for the people out in Kansas City, I guess it might be a lot more West Coast people. But let's be real. The people who go to the Super Bowl is typically those who typically aren't fans of the team. A lot of them are, but some of them, if you can just afford to go there. I think the average ticket cost that I saw was somewhere around, like for the bottom feeder jumps, like $4,000, something like that. And that's for like sitting up in the, in the joints.
So right there with the Beyonce tickets.
Right.
Got it.
Yes, they are valid excuses. Yes, they are. So yes, like I said, it's out in Arizona. And of course, we got another Super Bowl. It never hit back in the day when the Super Bowl was in February, but they moved it because it used to be like the last part of January. I think a few years ago they moved it another week, whatever. And now it goes into February. And what is February? It's Black History Month. For everyone who represents or celebrates Black History Month. So let's talk about a little Black history. Of course, this year we have for the first time 2 Black quarterbacks starting in the Super Bowl, and they're not backups. They're actually 2 of the top quarterbacks in the National Football League, which makes this all the more better. Than saying, hey, we got 2 black guys quarterbacking. Jalen Hurts actually makes this the 8th black quarterback to start in the Super Bowl. Behind, of course, started off with back in the day, my Redskins, Doug Williams, and then moving on from Colin Kaepernick, Donovan McNabb, Steve McNair, Pat Mahomes have been there a couple of times as well. So yeah, it's been, and Cam Newton as well. I hope I didn't forget anybody. Maybe I did. I'll think about it in a minute. So, did you guys, I guess for us, because we're just watching football, but did you guys get any type of, what was your feeling when you actually first saw we were going to get two black quarterbacks in the Super Bowl, 2 top black quarterbacks in the Super Bowl, or was it just like, not really thought about?
I don't know. Eric, you want to go?
Yeah, I was just kind of more so like, wasn't really thought about.
Okay.
I mean, from mid season on, I mean, before the injury, obviously the Jalen Hurts, Philly just looked like that team that just had that it factor in the
Right.
NFC. So it's like, okay, well, if all goes well, Jalen Hurts should be in the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
And then you never can count, Patrick the Great out of it.
Yeah.
So it was just kind of like, for me, it was either going to be Patrick the Great or Axon Jackson. So either way, it was going to be a black quarterback coming out the AFC. So
I like, what's that face, Earl? I feel like I feel like you had.
I ain't say nothing. I ain't say nothing.
I saw your face, man. I saw your face, man. What what about you, Dave? What was your
I kind of agree with Eric.
yeah.
I never looked at it until everybody started hyping it up as far as the two black quarterbacks and stuff. But I guess in a way, that's a good thing because you want it to come to a point where you're not thinking about the color of somebody's skin or
True.
who made it. You just want to be like, hey, two great quarterbacks made it. So it never really popped in my mind like, oh my God, we got two. It was just like, hey, we got two good teams. They've been shining all year. Here we go. Yep. So I guess in a way it's a good thing. But yeah, I guess when everybody started putting emphasis on it, then you started noticing more and you're like, oh, okay. Yeah, this is the first time this happened.
One thing that I noticed, and it's something that the NFL and sports, Major League Sports do a lot, more so around NBA and NFL. Typically, unless I missed it, and I've been watching a lot of coverage and stuff like that. But this time I didn't see, unless they do it during like this pregame and during the Super Bowl, all the stuff. We got hours before the game kicks off at 6:30. I didn't see that story. You know how typically, the NFL thrives off that underdog story. And for unfortunately, it tends to lead towards you always have that quarterback or that player rather that had that rough upbringing. He came from a house of 12. He was single mom, single dad. Something tragic had to happen, and they build this whole thing up, and then to make it, I guess, more palatable to the audience. I haven't seen that much, if all, this time. We got Jalen Hurts. He's a coach's son. His story coming from Alabama to getting benched by Tua, to going to Oklahoma, and then still being that underdog, really, and them not believing in him, even coming into this year, them building that team around him. And then on the other side, you got Pat Mahomes, who comes, his dad was a past MLB player, comes, great household, but there was no story around that. And I guess that's a good thing since they're not doing that aspect, but I guess
they had so many other besides that way of storyline to go off of.
Yeah,
like you said, the first two starting black quarterbacks going against each other. You got the Kelsey brothers going up against each other. Right. You got Andy Reid going back up against his old team. There were so many other ways to go.
Right.
That I'm pretty sure if they dug, they could have found some type of story with somebody. Right. But they didn't really need to.
Yeah.
So
true. And I get it. Like I said, sometimes they perpetuate this narrative for so long. I guess it's a good thing they didn't focus in on that. I can't go any further than this is saying this is the fourth Super Bowl that's happened in Arizona. It could have potentially been the fifth. And if those who don't know, you may have heard the story that the 1993 Super Bowl, which would at the time end up being the Rose Bowl with Dallas Cowboys and the Buffalo Bills. That Super Bowl was supposed to have been played at the time at Sun Devil Stadium. But what ended up happening was the state of Arizona, they refused to vote in making Martin Luther King Jr. Day a national holiday. And so the league owners meetings back in 1990, they did their whole thing. They were trying to pick a site. Now they pick these things a lot further out, but they were deciding on a site, and they decided on Arizona. But it was the thing with if that same initiative that wasn't on there, they threatened to move the actual game, and they actually end up doing it. You go back a little further, their governor who actually ended up getting impeached or whatever the case was, Evan Meacham, he actually had struck down the actual Martin Luther King Jr. Day being a national holiday in the state because he felt that it was created illegally, even though if you go back to President Reagan, who actually instituted this that holiday. So it's kind of interesting. There's a lot of things happening if you go back in the history of Arizona. And I was actually born in Arizona. I don't even know what that means, but it's a lot of stuff that's underlying that. It probably won't get talked about much because they have had some of the best moments in Arizona. I think, Dave, you and Earl experienced one in particularly, the infamous helmet catch that happened. So that was great. And then, of course, you had the
still one of the best moments of Super Bowl history.
And then probably the worst moments in history is the infamous slant pass that shouldn't have been thrown that was intercepted. So you got one end Giants fans, the other end Seattle Seahawks fans. Pick which one. But that being the case, man, they've given you great highlights and stuff over the year. Earl, you good?
Yeah, my bad.
All right.
My bad.
We ain't live though.
Shut up.
Shout out to Kaleo, man, for the We Are Something Else podcast for tapping in, man. So again, it's so much history is going to be made. Of course, you got Andy Reid now, not on a Black History standpoint, but from him going up against his former team, against the coach that he actually fired. So he fired Nick Sirianni when he was in Philly. So it's a lot of different stories that's going on. So it should be fun at the.
I didn't know that part.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting to say the least.
No, I don't think I don't think that was right. You said he fired him when he was in Philly.
According to, or maybe it was before Philly.
No, he was on the Chiefs staff.
My bad. I'm sorry.
He was on the former Chiefs staff, and when Andy Reid came in and got hired as the new Chief coach, he fired him.
He cleared out the staff.
Yeah. So he wasn't on Philly staff. We got fact check, Shawn. You know,
that's the first fact check.
That's fine. That's fine. Anyway, the guy who fired you. So here we go. So that makes it even worse now. Because he could have been.
So you're saying that he's responsible for his success? That's what.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. Pretty much he is.
He could be.
That fire burned. Like, oh, you want to let me go?
He could be, man.
You know what? Not only did you let me go, I'm gonna go and take your old team, and I'm gonna take your old team to the Super Bowl, and I'm gonna do what you couldn't do with your old team. That's what he's looking at. He might not come on and say it. I'm just telling you that's what he's thinking.
He may say that at the end of the game.
He might say that
just that handshake.
Right. Yeah, he might walk with Andy and be like, you made me do this.
You do remember who I am, right?
Right. So
what's my name?
Let's talk about this guy. I didn't know his name, but it's so your boy, everybody's favorite commissioner, Roger Goodell. They were doing the whole media week and such, and he had a very interesting. He had this state of the league address and stuff, and he was doing like a bunch of different interviews, and it was so much stuff on there. It was the good part was the fact that for everyone who doesn't like NFL football, let's be realistic about it. He gave a breakdown of them, and the NFL games, they count as shows. So because he's on television, it's counted as shows. So the number was something like the top 50 shows of the year. Like they had like the top viewership, like 48 of them were all games. And like one or two of them was like the draft, something like they're the king of television. It's crazy how he was breaking it down. It's kind of like y'all can hate us, but we still
like
run
it doesn't
everything.
exist without me.
It doesn't. It doesn't at all. We keep y'all lights on. But he said something else that I found was the most ignorant thing, and I had to immediately retweet it. And it was this. Never been better. And what was he talking about? These guys. So they were asking him about officiating and stuff like that. And he was talking. He said, and to paraphrase him, except for the never been better part, that's a quote, direct quote. But he was saying to the state as, there's missed calls and stuff like that. We understand it's a hard game to officiate stuff, but in my opinion, the officiating and refereeing of games has never been better. There's a couple of games off the top of my head that had even nothing to do with the playoffs that ring a bell. It's plenty of people out there right now who look at that the Kansas City Chiefs Cincinnati Bengals game a little sideways. Call it what you want, but that last play when Patrick Mahomes was going out of bounds, he got shoved, I guess, by the linebacker, and that gave them that personal foul that helped put them into field goal range. What you guys think, man? We watched a lot of games this year, and all four of us can easily say that the officiating has been trash this year. But what's y'all take, man?
I'll let Earl go on that.
I mean, What's been new? You know, it's has it been any worse any other years? I mean, honestly speaking.
True.
I mean, they missed a lot of calls. So I mean, in previous years, so I can't say that this year in particular has been something different. You know, you can ask the Cowboys a couple years back. You know,
I mean, I'll tell you right now.
You say this call was more egregious than that call with the Saints game?
Oh, that was a horrible one.
And that's the thing. Yeah.
But the thing is, there's also, because there's going to be human error. It just is what it is.
Right.
But the accountability is the thing that kills me.
Right.
Like, I know what game you're thinking about, Shawn. The Giants game and the Commanders game towards the end of the season. And yes, that was easily pass interference. My thing is not the fact that they even just missed the call. It's the fact that they got the ref again during the playoffs.
Yes.
So where's the accountability when you know someone made a major mistake, a whole squad made a major mistake, and you benefit them as far as getting that playoff pay?
Right.
So I don't know. There's no accountability there at all. At all. So they can just do what they want.
Has there been a call that egregious in the Super Bowl that anybody can remember? Like one that's been like, what the hell? Like, I feel like they make these mistakes during the regular season and during the playoffs, perhaps. But you get to the Super Bowl, I can't recall a particular play where it was like so like evident, like, bro, how'd you miss this? Like, all of a sudden they get it all right. Or is it just
that's almost subjective, though. I'm pretty sure if you ask any Patriots fan, they're going to tell you that they missed the call on saying that Eli was down.
Got you. Yeah, or in the grasp, I guess they would call it.
No, just by blowing the whistle, saying that he was, that his progress stopped and he should have been considered sacked. But I mean, I thought they made the right call by letting it play. I know for a fact that Earl and Dave are going to say he made the right call by letting it play. But like I said, I do know Patriots fans that to this day still sit there and say that, the way that they always want to protect quarterbacks, how was that not called down?
Yeah,
he wasn't down.
to a lesser extent, even though the play call itself was horrible, and we said, and I said it. It's many people who believe that interception on that play in Seattle should have been pass interference, would have been called pass interference. You can slow it down all you want. Did he get there early? Did he not? You don't know.
He shouldn't have ran the slant on the 1 yard line. They deserve what they got.
That was just horrible in any case, man. With them being under the microscope, I didn't even look at the officiating crew for this game. It ain't Ed Hockley, and I don't think it's Jerome Boger. Like those two. Did we potentially see something like that? Because you have two quarterbacks that are injured in a certain aspect. So we may see something like that?
Here's the thing. I think you can make an argument. It's like what Dave was talking about with human error.
Mm-hmm.
Human error. You could kind of get that off like 10, 15 years ago, right?
Right.
But with all this technology, and things in that nature, what I'm saying, all these attempts to make the game better and more efficient, it's supposed to minimize human error.
Yeah.
So with that being said, there's no excuse for there to be bad calls. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
Because you have the potential to go back. Forget challenges like the refs. They huddle up. You have potential to go back and check that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Now, there's going to be some situations, it doesn't matter what it is, there's going to be some situations where it's just hard to tell.
Didn't we have a discussion before? For some reason, when they go back to, I guess it's New York or whatever, they don't have the same views that we have on TV. Like, why is that?
I don't know.
Why do we have some better views?
No, I'm not going to say that they don't have the same views.
Okay. Because I thought somebody had said that before.
Nah, I disagree.
They actually that was a thing. Now
I disagree with that because even my boy used to work for the replay center for the NBA, which is located in Secaucus.
Right.
They have more views than we can even see.
I would think so.
Yeah, but it was a thing at one point, and I forget what the analyst's name was, but it was literally they were saying it was one of the big guys, and they have improved it since then. But it was a time where the refs didn't get the same shots that the viewers got at home, which was so.
The refs not having the same shot, but when you go back to Jersey,
Yeah.
Well, I think the NFL is up here too.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's when they call back and they say, all right, look, we saw this.
Yeah. I got that part, which is kind of
but
crazy.
Are they sending that to them?
Yeah, that's when they go back and when they go back into that tent, because
that little
blue
was weird to me.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, we're relying on the actual telecast, whoever is coming through Fox
right.
or whatever. But I'm like, they should be able to see down to shoelaces, like.
Yeah. And then you got to understand too, like the camera angles that we see is not connected to the cameras that
it's not.
the NFL and the NBA. Like that's
right.
That's the channels. You know what I'm saying?
Right. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. Excuse me. Oh shit.
Okay.
Sorry.
Oh, man. We ain't live. Here.
It's you know why? It's because it's the beer.
Good job, bud.
It's the beer.
Go ahead, promote it. Promote it while you already do it.
Yeah, right.
Well, sure. The shit is nasty, but I just
wait a minute. Hold on, man. Don't.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm just
he said it's nasty, but it's
my taste.
That's not gonna be a future sponsor.
Not at all. Thank you. Man. Thank you, Guinness. I only live down the street from the Guinness factory. Appreciate you, Earl.
Well, you said it. I just said the shit is nasty. You want to say their name?
You just showed the picture, man. Oh my god.
You could have blurred it out, bro.
Oh my
Let's
god.
Go. He's on one right now.
Yes, he's so horrible.
He's still drinking it.
So
no, because I wanted a beer. I wanted something cold. It was in my refrigerator.
So far, man. So as of right now, I was looking. So the betting line for all you bettors out there, still has the Eagles -1.5. For all you novice folks out there, -1.5. That means they are the favorite for the game itself. It's gonna be a tie game. At the end of the day, it's more less than a field goal in this case. That over under 51 though. Y'all think we're gonna get more than 51 points out of this?
Mm-hmm.
I think you can.
Yep. I think over.
I'm thinking as well. I'm thinking this is going to be one of the ones because you have two things. You have it's kind of weird because the Chiefs defense always seem to show up when it's like matters. Oh yeah, they be like, yo, they have a horrible defense. They get in the playoffs and like a Super Bowl, be like, yo, they are pretty good. And then they start touting, even though I think is Snead still out or is he back? I know he was out with concussion, but is he still out? Jadarius, I can say his first name. Last name Snead. He's a cornerback for Kansas City.
I forget. I know Hartman is out though.
Yeah, I know he is. So I wonder how that's going to work with that secondary going up against Philly, which I don't know if they're going to throw a lot because Jalen Hurts is still hurt. I'm talking about the Eagles if they're going to take advantage of that.
They have to throw
on that ball.
They have to. If I was up, I would to take advantage of that. But that run game is pretty strong, man.
No, it ain't. They don't. It's not that. It's strong, but it's not. It ain't that strong. Like I mean, it's.
Are we talking about the same? Are we talking about the same Philly team?
No, they run game is straight. It's just they're gonna throw the ball, B. Like Jalen Hurts hasn't been running like that, which leads me to believe that man is still injured. If you look at in the beginning of the year, he was averaging at least 50-something yards a game. It was ridiculous.
Right.
If you look back after he got injured, them numbers went down tremendously to the point where he wasn't even running in some games. Yo.
Right.
I think even last game, I want to say that was the most he's ran in a minute, and it wasn't even nothing crazy. I think it was under like 50 yards. If you look at like Boston, if you look at the running backs, Boston
and Miles Sanders
and Gaineswell, I mean, Miles Sanders hasn't really been kicking up the last couple of games. You know what I'm saying? And did
you watch the NFC Championship game?
Yeah.
Okay. I was confused.
Yeah, I'm actually a little confused because I'm trying to figure out where you're going with this, Earl, because you're sitting there saying that they're going to have to throw it, and then you're giving all this reason sitting there saying that he has
no.
He hasn't run, but his injury had nothing to do with his legs. His injury was his shoulder, which would prevent him from throwing.
No, what I'm trying to explain to Shawn is that they're going to run the ball. I mean, I'm sorry, they're going to throw the ball because he was saying like, "Yo, are they going to really throw the ball like that?" And I'm saying, no, they're going to throw.
Might want to bring up your stat, Eric, that we spoke about earlier.
The Philadelphia Eagles are going to try to run the ball down the Kansas City Chiefs' throat. I'm going to tell you that right now. They are going to run that ball on them because
I think they're going to run the ball, but I think they're definitely going to.
It's going to be more throw heavy, yo.
I think they're going to open up the field through hopefully the successful run for them. If you're pulling from Philly, I think that's what opens up everything because I think the reason why Hurts hasn't passed for as much in the last couple of weeks is because they don't have the fear of the run. Normally, when they have that fear of him coming outside that pocket and running, that's what opens up the passing game. When they don't think he's going to leave that pocket and really run, then you can shut down that passing game because you can keep people back because you're only one-sided. So I think they're definitely going to focus on the run to open up that passing game. I think, Eric, weren't we discussing right before this how many he wasn't getting, what, 200?
So in the playoffs itself, so before he got hurt, he had thrown the 3 games before he got hurt was 380 yards, 217, and 315. Then he got hurt. He came back. He played the Giants last game of the season. He toughed it out, threw for 229. But then he got into the playoffs, and his playoffs numbers as far as throwing, he played the Giants again, only threw for 154. Right. And then when he played San Fran last, he only threw for 121.
Which they didn't really have to throw against San Fran, to be honest, because they were having such success with
because of the circumstances of what happened in San Fran. But it's just the fact that, I mean, since the playoffs have kicked off, he hasn't thrown for 200 yards yet. Right. Whereas, you know, he was actually throwing and running both at a high number. So to sit there and say that he's going to have to throw it,
I don't think he has to, but I think he's going to get over 200 this game. I think he's going to need to.
I think he's over 200. I don't think he's over 3.
No, he has
I don't
to.
know about the.
He has to. Like, they're not going to beat the Chiefs by just running the ball, yo. They're not. There's no way in hell they're not going to beat the Chiefs by just running that ball. You know what I'm saying? And I'm telling you, granted, I think that Jalen Hurts is a little bit healthier, but I think he's still hurt. And just like I was telling you, but the point that I
believe that he's still hurt. That's why he's not throwing for 250, 300 yards a game right now.
Yeah, but the point and the other point again that I was trying to make too, like he used to open with what Dave was saying, they used to be able to open it up because they could run the ball, not only just the running back, but also Hurts. And I'm just telling you that since he got hurt, he ain't really been running. Like the last couple of games has been.
I think they're just gonna leave it all out there because it's Super Bowl.
Well, no, I mean they have to. I mean, you gotta be ready to die for it.
If you hurt, you gotta.
Yeah, I mean I get it, but I'm just. But what I would say
what y'all saying, both things can be true. I think you and Shawn can both be true. I think he's going to have to run and throw. He's going to have to play like he did before the injury.
Yeah,
and that was his favorite to win the MVP at that time.
And that was a balance. That was a balance.
Correct.
I think with them in this case, because it depends on how that pass rush does for Kansas City. If Chris Jones is getting pressure on them, then to take that heat off him, then they'll run right at that. They'll run right at that pressure itself. Now he will have to throw if they mess around.
Line is a monster, man.
Yeah, and they are.
Eagles offensive line that might be something that Kansas City defensive line ain't used to seeing.
Right now, here's the other part. Because if for some happen, because it's turnover, it was like in the Washington game. Even though Washington won that game, you look at the game on his face, there was a lot of uncharacteristic mistakes by Philly. Like it was a muff punt. I think it was like a tip interception or something like that. It was weird. And then they got down early, and then Washington was able just to run the ball on them. Spin that forward to Kansas City. If Kansas City calls some turnovers and forces them to get behind because they score real quick, he will have to throw. And then now you're going to find out how injured that shoulder is. And then now, or do they try to stay balanced? Because now you got a coach in Nick Sirianni that this is probably be a high leverage game for him. So now he's having to adapt on the run. What do I do? Do I stick with the run game? Do we pass? Does he get a little skittish? You don't know, because if you get down by Kansas City by 14, those floodgates open, and that could be a problem.
I do think that the Eagles are more dangerous than the Chiefs. One, because Patrick Mahomes is still. I mean, granted, he's going to be way better than he was 2 weeks ago, but. With that, like what Eric was saying, that defense is different. Like that defense is gonna make him dance. Like, he ain't nowhere in the world he's gonna be able to sit still comfortably in that pocket. Like he's gonna have to move around. Now the benefit of the Chiefs, because I also feel like the Chiefs have a lot of like utility players. Like
and they have one of the top offensive lines in the league.
Yeah, and they got a lot of weapons. You know what I'm saying? So they can get really creative with what they want to. You know what I'm saying? What they want to do and opening up that playbook, which I feel like it would be a little bit easy and beneficial for Pat Mahomes to get that ball out of there quicker because they could get creative. But if they can get pressure on Pat, like they might have a little bit of a problem. You know what I'm saying? And Hurts is going to have to use his legs today.
Yeah, absolutely. Speaking of Hurts, man, so Jalen Hurts was drafted back in 2020. Okay, Pat Mahomes 2017. Okay. So in the year that Jalen Hurts got drafted, which it seems like he's been here long enough. The year he got drafted was the same year that Patrick Mahomes signed that monster contract, that 10-year, $503 million contract. So if you're listening to Howie Roseman the last couple of days, and they were asking him, hey, what does, if Jalen Hurts wins the Super Bowl, if he doesn't, what does that mean? And for him, he said he has nothing else to prove. And at the end of the day, he's looking at, I know we talked about Lamar a lot during the season. Jalen Hurts is looking at, you're talking about $50 million plus for a guy that a year ago that not many had belief in him. Maybe just Philly, but everybody else. So what do we see?
Within the last 2 years, they didn't have belief in him.
Right.
You don't remember?
Yeah, true.
I know. And let me speak to that real quick before we go on to this point. Yo, all these fake ass fans that act like they was really riding with Hurts, bro. Like, cut it the hell out, yo. Please cut it the hell out. And you know what? And I'm gonna say the same thing for this. Ain't about them, but it's compared. I'm gonna say the same thing about DJ fans. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, you wasn't ride with him. You know what I'm saying? You wasn't ride with him. Please don't act like y'all believe him, because before that, yo, Nick Foles was their savior, and before that, they believed in Winston Hurts. I mean, I'm sorry, Wentz.
Winston Hurts.
Yeah, I know. Wentz. Wentz.
Sound like a bad drink.
Yeah, right. I mean, so
like Guinness.
So I think the biggest thing is, like, I'm actually happy. As much as I don't like the Eagles, you know what I'm saying, I do rock with the players. You know what I'm saying? I do rock with the organization because they stay with a black quarterback. And I am rooting for Jalen Hurts, you know what I'm saying? Because so many people like counted him out. His struggle's been going back since college, bro. You know what I mean? So like I low key, like I do want this brother to pull through. You know what I'm saying? And I know at the end of the day, if he could pull this out, for real.
First time I ever heard Earl say he's pulling for Philly.
Nah, I mean, I told you why. If he could pull this one out, they got to pay that man. Pay him whatever he wants.
I'm riding with Patrick LeVon Mahomes II.
Do you feel they got to pay him whether he wins this or not?
Yeah, I do. I really do.
I think so too.
If they want to, if they're thinking about, but I mean, is my question. I mean, my thing is, there's no doubt in my mind. Like, there is no doubt once he wins. You know what I'm saying? People could sit up here and say, we can give him this and negotiate. Nah. Like Shawn just said, give him a blank check.
But realize the market's already set at that 50.
Yeah.
Don't speak at it as if it's big. It's big in our mind, of course, but the market's already set at that 50.
Right.
So when you start seeing, I'm wondering, is his stuff up at the end of this year?
He's
it should be close. If it's not up this year, it's next
year. The reason why I ask is because there's going to be other people that are about to set that market, and I wonder if he should wait.
I wouldn't. Me personally, I wouldn't.
I think he don't have to. I don't think he has to, because he can do it no matter what they get to pay. If he wins, especially if he wins, to his point, I don't care if Joe signs. If they sign, who else is up?
Joe's contract is going to be crazy.
Yeah. So even with Joe Burrow. And they, in this case, they both will be, even if he loses, they both went to a Super Bowl, so they might be a similar type contract. But if he wins, crazy.
But let me is Joe's contract gonna benefit or hurt? Because Joe can say, well, you know what? I went to the Super Bowl, we lost, and then I took our team to the playoff every year I've been here.
Well, it's not gonna hurt Jalen at all. I'm gonna tell you why. Because when he got hurt, remember, everybody was like, is Jalen Hurts just in a good position And then they just dropped in. I forgot the other quarterback's name. And you saw how it kind of like went off the rails a little bit without Jalen Hurts being in there.
But this is Hurts' first like full complete year, right? With the Eagles.
Yeah, because
No.
Well, did he start last year?
He started all last year and they made the playoffs.
Remember, that's when they
yeah, they did. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And then the year before that, that's when they pulled him.
He played like the last 4 games his rookie year, but then he played all last year and they made the playoffs.
Right.
Okay.
So I mean, essentially, honestly speaking, I mean, if he was to lose today, him and Joe Burrows would actually be, not really. But I mean, really. They would be. They both would have gone to the Super Bowl and lost if he loses today. Right. They both in 4 seasons playing for their teams would have been to the playoffs each time. Because Joe Burrows got hurt his rookie season and they didn't make it, but the 2 seasons he played, they did. Yeah. I mean, and they both came in the same year.
Yep.
So, and you got to look at there would essentially be no difference other than stats on.
And they're both very relying on both of those people.
Yep.
Yeah. But actually, honestly speaking, Jalen Hurts was. I mean, they both been sitting there as mentioned in the MVP category, even though Jalen Hurts actually probably was a front runner for it, to whereas Joe Burrows was never a front runner. He's last couple of years, he's always come up late because his teams have made that last minute push the last 2 years. They never started out as fast as the Eagles did. So both years, the last 2 years, he just made a late run into it. So his name gets thrown into the end of the MVP conversation, whereas Jalen Hurts' name was in it throughout the whole year. Yeah. So I mean, you can actually almost argue that Jalen should be, slightly above.
And the difference. And the difference between their contracts, Earl, to answer your question, who's going to hurt them, has nothing to actually, I think, to do with what he does on the field. It's the owners. The ownership in Cincinnati is completely different than what it is in Philly. They're going to pay him out. The owner down in Cincinnati, I forget his name off the top of my head. He's infamous for not really wanting to try to spend money like that. As Carson Palmer and those guys back in the day.
Right.
Yeah. So,
but he might have to though.
I don't think he has a choice this year.
In this case, in that case, he may have to.
The big difference is Carson Palmer, as good as he was, didn't get them to the Super Bowl to where Joe Burrow had. So I mean,
Carson Palmer ain't Joe Burrow.
Right, exactly. So do you take it to let that man walk out the door?
Yeah. Now I don't think they'll let him walk, but I think Jalen to get the bigger bag in this case, and he earned it. He earned it. You talking about going for
Jalen contract because him being a second round pick ends before Joe Burrows.
Right.
Yes.
Because Joe Burrow they can always use the 5th year on Joe. Yep. So Jalen Hurts is probably going to get a contract first.
Yeah.
And then Joe Burrow's contract is going to be bigger because of the fact that Jalen Hurts is going to get his contract first. Unless Cincinnati tries to do what Dallas and Baltimore didn't do and try to jump up, and beat the price market. Go ahead and get it done now, so that way they ain't got to worry about it on the back end. But we'll see.
Let's see how that goes next. Hey man, it's gonna be either way, man. It's gonna be interesting to see. And then,
let me ask y'all this real quick. My bad, Shawn. So, because I ain't gonna hold you. To me, Deshaun Watson got the best contract in the NFL. Like he got guaranteed money.
He got the best contract in NFL history.
That's what I'm saying. So my thing is and I think that really
doesn't have to do a thing,
right? And I think that actually fucked a lot of shit up because now the fact that that he showed that you can get a damn near almost fully guaranteed contract, like probably over 80% of your contract fully
actually
guaranteed.
Kirk Cousins did it first. But I digress.
Long term.
So
Kirk Cousins do it
because he ain't Deshaun Watson.
Yeah, Kirk Cousins, he does it every year. But my thing is,
every year.
Who's to say that Hurts and even Joe are starting to kind of move towards that realm? Like, you know what? Forget the big like, let me get that guarantee.
Let me go this way attitude, and then I'll let somebody just answer directly on you. They were speaking to the sense of organization. The Cleveland Browns, they didn't care. They will throw whatever at anybody that was a star at that point for that quarterback position. Correct. So it wasn't the point. I mean, he could have had a damn near broken leg sitting out the whole year. It didn't matter. They were about to get a star at that quarterback position because of everything they've been through, the history of their franchise. So, but it's hard for the other teams to express that to the other players because, like, you don't want to say to another player, "Look, we ain't dependent on you."
But you could kind of almost say that
in that way.
You could kind of almost say the same thing in terms of like the sense of urgency for Cincinnati. They They ain't won one yet.
No.
Yeah, but like you said, it still
Hey.
goes back. Like the Jets right now is the team that sticks out to me right now that sits there and pretty much says, we will pay that type of contract. We'll give you a fully guaranteed. And their owner came out and said at this point that he would do what it takes to get himself.
But it's a different owner though. It's a different situation. You know.
That's what we're saying.
No, but that's what we're saying.
That's the exact point. That it depends on the team and the owner. You know, one team's not willing to do. Like I said, unfortunately, I don't think the Ravens are willing to do what the Jets are willing to do.
No,
it's just a fact.
Well, they damn sure ain't. But
look, the Falcons would probably do it. I mean, Arthur Blank wrote that check to Michael Vick a long time ago. So, I mean, I think the Falcons is a team that would be willing to do it for if they could get somebody like him down there. It just depends on your team.
Yeah, I mean, I just feel like I think that the Bengals are kind of in that boat too. So where like if he came back and said like I want guaranteed money, they gotta really think hard and try to figure out how to make that work.
Look, the Chargers are going to be in a bad position because if their quarterback comes out and he says that, the Chargers is one of them teams that's not willing to do that.
Well, and I don't blame them because you know what, the other thing, they got a lot of weapons on there, so they ain't gonna be able to keep that shit. Somebody's that team is getting broken up, just like this Eagles team. This shit is getting broken up after this year. Just like you know that.
We gonna see.
And then brings you back to Tom Brady saying, "I don't need all that. I just need people around me."
Yeah.
There you go. There you go. All right, man. So let's get into some trivia, man. Dave, you got something for us?
Oh shoot! Let me jump into something real quick.
Yeah, we laugh. I know.
Yes,
I didn't put it
up. My bad. I was in that. All right, let me see here.
So, everybody who's tapped in right now, man, jump into the comments, man. Tell your folks that we on live on our YouTube channel. Make sure that you subscribe as well, man, to the Hot Seat Podcast on YouTube. Our newest episode 101 of the Hot Seat Podcast, is now streaming live.
Does anybody know? Does anyone know how much the Lombardi Trophy actually weighs?
That should always look heavy because I feel like when people be grabbing it, they almost drop that joint. I'm gonna give you like let's say
your boy tossed it from one boat to another boat.
Yeah, right.
Well, you got to see how he
pounds, son.
That shit ain't no 18 pounds. That shit is like 10 pounds, bro.
No, 18 all right, Eric, you got a guess on it?
I'm gonna go with 9 pounds.
Oh God, this price is right, motherfucker. What the fuck? $1.
7 pounds.
Exactly,
7 pounds. How much it weighs? And to go with that, do you know who is the actual jeweler that makes the Lombardi Trophy?
It's not Benny the jeweler.
Hope it ain't Jacob.
Right. No.
Coming at
I mean, is it somebody? Like that we
coming
know?
in a special box? Yeah.
Look, our folks said 26. I want that bad. I just said 18. He's at 26 pounds.
Who's at 26?
Maybe he meant ounces.
Okay. Oh my God. Hey, but when you see some of those guys grab the trophy, they all like they be struggling.
Oh, Tiffany's.
Yeah.
Tiffany's.
Oh.
Yep. Never knew that.
Interesting.
I had no idea.
Yeah. Yo, so here's quick question. So when you win, does everybody get a Lombardi? Because I be seeing cats like on shows that got the Lombardi in their house. So like, do they get the actual trophy?
I don't think they get the actual.
Or they get like a replica.
You might get like a replica or something.
Okay.
I would think.
Because I know with the ring, for the most part, a lot of people that work in the organization they get a ring. Because I know people from that.
Oh yeah, they'll get rings, but they'll get the replica of the trophy. But I mean, some players will take the actual trophy for a certain amount of time. Like, if we go to hockey, like Ovi, when
Ovi is all around DC drinking
everywhere.
He was drinking. It was it was just. It was
I don't know when the Caps got that back. So
it was great.
He's on tour.
I loved it. Yep. Yeah. He said the same thing, like Stanley Cup. Yep. Yeah, they take it around with them and they hold it for a amount of time. You know.
Damn. So what if you break that shit, yo?
Well. I mean, Tom Brady wasn't worried.
Tom Brady was throwing it. He didn't break it. You know, so he didn't even threw it in the water.
Shit. Tom Brady, as much as he bought them, he be like, man, he's his mom, motherfucker.
Has that one ever dropped it in like a water or something like that? No?
Probably. Shit. Yeah.
I wouldn't doubt it. Something like that, I guess. What else you got, man? What else you got?
Let's see. Oh wow. No, I'm not going for that one.
Come on now. We live. We good. It's unfiltered still.
Shoot. You know what? Let's just do it. How many chicken wings are consumed during Super Bowl Sunday?
Why are we doing? No. This is Black History. No, don't answer
I would
that.
say
No.
I would say
no.
I will say it's
No.
probably in. I would say it's probably in tonnage.
No,
perhaps
we're not going to answer that because
I
it's
mean,
Black
reality,
money
you
amount.
can't-
Or is it money amount?
It's Black
in
History
reality,
Month.
you can't accurately answer that question.
It's, no.
Let me see. Yo. And it's Black History Month too.
That's
Yeah,
what I'm
we're not
saying.
doing
Look,
that.
we ain't gonna
Shit.
go.
We're
That's what I'm
not
talking
doing that.
about.
There was a lady, I think in Michigan or something like that just stole $1.1 million worth of chicken from school.
Wasn't it like a grandmother? Or
Yeah.
something?
Yeah, it was somebody's grandmother.
Wow.
And she was selling that.
Now, now you
She
messing
kept
up
on
my
ordering it, and they found it when they ordered it.
You're messing up my minutes now. So I think they say roughly about 100 million people watch the Super Bowl.
Come on,
And
yeah, you went to IDTC
Oh,
college. That's too much math for you, bro.
Hey,
That is too much math.
hey,
for
wouldn't it
you.
be crazy if like his feed just went out all of a sudden?
Yeah,
I'm just saying.
that is too much math
my
for you, bro.
God.
100 million. You talking about and a pack of chicken wings on there. I was looking in the refrigerator in the
Your school ain't
grocery
have
store today.
algebra. It should
It
just
was
had
like
math 101.
Actually, go forget dollars.
That even changes per
Just do-
state.
It was how many chicken wings?
shit.
Millions,
I would say like
millions, over.
I would say like 8 million.
Nah,
1.3 billion.
yeah.
Damn.
8 million,
You just
bro.
gotta throw a number in.
That's just in one state, bro.
I know,
Over
right?
1 billion. You
I was
gotta throw
throwing
out
the
a
number
number.
out, man.
Yeah, you want to
Goddamn.
throw that out there.
Yeah.
Last thing I'll throw at you, and then you move on. How much you think the very first tickets were to the Super Bowl?
Probably under $100.
The first Super Bowl?
Oh,
in,
Mhm.
Oh, probably $5.
wait, look, we're gonna say that. Didn't Bob say that every month? But yeah, so we can talk about chicken all year. Damn right we can. That's what I'm talking about. I can't.
Probably $5. I'm going $5.
That's what he said. He said it. It depends on how many of us watches. That's good job on the editing. You know, that's a producer right there, buddy. I would say like what, $100 maybe? Like
100.
Nah, I think that's
Good
like
Lord,
$5.
man.
too much. That was way.
I was throwing out numbers, man. I don't know.
Ain't nobody going to that.
I'm gonna say
college.
under that. I'm under $100.
IDTC
I don't know.
college, bro. I
It's
said $5.
$12.
Oh, okay.
$12.
Really? Wow. Okay. I
Yo.
guess bread was like a nickel back then or something like that. So I kind of throw that out there. My bad.
Oh my goodness.
Yo, they damn near.
Then we get.
They the same. Hold on, I got one. I was about to say they the same prices as the Redskins game. It's the same price. So you should have been able to get that one, bro.
But the parking.
But the parking
is about
Yeah, that's where they make their
the
money.
parking was a goddamn 100 at, man.
the parking.
So since we're talking about price, man, something that we're all going to. First of all, I'm kind of excited about the ads this year. One in particular, but since we're talking about cost. The ad cost for the Super Bowl has gotten crazy. I know it's been in the millions every year. This year, the cost of a 30-second ad for the Super Bowl is around about $7 million. $7 million. And not even all of them are good.
Yeah,
that's the crazy part.
It's a dick swing competition.
Whoa.
Like, I mean, that's the best way I can describe it, man.
Yeah,
everybody trying to come out and see who got the biggest and best, you know what I'm saying, commercial. So it's just like, and the ill thing is, like you were saying, the past couple of years has been trash, bro.
Yeah. Look at last year. You had that crypto.com commercial just had the QR code that was bouncing. You mean to tell me? Well, I guess they had to. I guess they need that money back because the crypto world's kind of falling apart. But they paid last year. What was it last year, Dave? Does it have the numbers for last year? I thought it was like 5.5, 6 million last year.
Nah, last year it was 6.5.
Okay, so it went up. Yeah, it went up another $500,000. So you paid 6.5 for that 30 seconds for that QR code to bounce on the TV last year that people were scanning, and then of course your crypto value just went to hell. Yeah, you need all that money back, brother.
Hell
all
yeah.
that back. Yeah, that's
all that.
Oh, now I wonder is that just for the ads or is that for the film trailers as well? I wonder if that's in a different bucket.
I think it's everything.
Is it?
It's the amount of time that they're on there. That's for a 30-second spot.
Yeah. So you talking about you get like
think
a Marvel
about trailers that are a minute and a half, 2 minutes.
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't think it mattered though, because they got it, bro. You know what I'm
easy.
saying? They got it.
Easy.
Unless it's Black Panther, Black Adam, and then they kind of like use all their money up in marketing, and that's why they didn't bring him back and some other stuff as well. It's kind of crazy. Super Bowl, any particular ad y'all looking for this year?
No,
I know they've been showing little teasers of different things, but
they said my M&Ms are up, man. The M&M people, man. They said they're doing away with them. And what up,
G? What up, G? I know G was in here. Yep.
We'll see.
Kaleo said Shawn sponsoring halftime for all that is going to be on stage. Well, I'll let you.
Well, sure. Let me switch the gears a little bit. It's still football, but it's not. So the halftime show is going to be just like Shawn said, Rihanna. That's he always say that shit. What do y'all think about that? What's your thoughts?
But on Rihanna?
Yeah, just Rihanna. She hasn't been performing in she had a hiatus for like what? Damn near 10 years, something crazy like that.
Yeah.
So this is her first time performing. Do you think it's going to be a success? Especially too, think about the last couple of Super Bowl halftime performances. I would say honestly, the last couple have been pretty good. I mean, with Kendrick Lamar and Dre and them last year, and which one? But was Beyonce the year before that, or was it somebody else?
I thought the year before that was Bruno Mars and them. I thought.
Okay, so Bruno.
I think he had the Weeknd one year. I don't.
Right,
the
Weeknd.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't give a fuck about him, but but then Beyonce shit was dope. You know what I mean?
Oh, snap. Oh,
nah, I agree. Thank you.
Oh, man.
Thank you. The Weeknd was suspect.
That ain't what he said, but you missed.
Nah, that's not what we're talking
about. I think it's gonna be a cool show, man. I think this is. Remember, she had doing the whole Colin Kaepernick thing. She had. I think she pulled out of that one, if I'm correct, because that's why they brought in Jennifer Lopez and the Hips on Shakira. Yeah. Because a lot of people, they pulled off of doing the whole quote unquote the blackballing of Colin Kaepernick. So I think this will be the first time I'm coming back. I'm curious to see who's going to come out there with her. That's going to be the other part.
Well, yeah, that's the $1 million question. I mean, I think Jay-Z got to come out.
No.
Nah, he has to, because I feel like he was.
Doesn't he still have the ties to all that?
Yeah, but I mean, I think he was also instrumental. No, I think he was instrumental in getting her to perform. So I would say I would be remiss if he didn't come out. Now the shocker.
I think Beyonce gonna stop that, but go ahead.
Nah, I think the shocker.
You gotta talk to your sister first.
The shocker would be if like Chris Brown or Drake comes out. That'd be the shocker, just because of their turmoil. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think that ain't happening at all. Especially the Chris Brown part. That is not happening.
Chris Brown's underwater, right?
I'll say the Chris Brown part probably.
You ain't gotta say probably on that.
We're gonna do
a whole segment on the whole Grammy aspect.
Is this a prop bet?
I'm about to say we're gonna do over under.
He ain't coming out.
Yeah.
All right. What about Drake? Right. What about Drake?
To recover from his Robert Glasper.
Yeah. Nah.
What about Drake? Because the funny thing is, y'all really don't understand, especially for the people I'm not a what's the Rihanna faithfuls called? The Navy or whatever.
Yeah.
I ain't nowhere near that. But from what I heard from the Navy is Chris Brown coming out is a higher probability than actually Drake coming out. Which to me, somebody on the outside looking in, I was like, that sounds crazy to me. But I guess with all the beef and stuff and the backdoor shit, because apparently from what I was explained to, Chris Brown and Rihanna are actually very cordial. They're cool. Chris Brown and Drake and Rihanna, they kind of butt heads. So, but
I can't see it. I can't see it at all. So Eminem.
Yeah,
she did do a song with him.
He make his way out there again.
Yeah, he did. She did do a song with him.
But that's not corny to come out 2 years in a row, though. It's kind of
And Beyonce,
didn't she do a song with? Did she do a song with Cardi B?
Coldplay and all them, and then she had her own.
Yeah, did she do a song with Cardi B? Oh no,
at the Super Bowl? Nah.
No, I'm talking about Rihanna. Did they do a song together? I thought they did a song.
Yeah,
shoot. Brendan sound would be dope. But let's see if Kanye.
Now you need Kanye out there.
He ain't coming. They ain't allowed Kanye in Arizona.
First of all, that would be. I'll tell you right now, that'd be the most expensive halftime show ever. Have y'all seen the set pieces for that?
Nah, they're gonna have to beat that whole shit out because he's gonna say some wild shit.
Yeah, they literally put that on a 5-minute delay. They mess around with Kanye. Not at all, man. One thing that going back to the ad cost itself though, is one thing is coming out, and Earl, you can excuse yourself from this part of the show. For the first time, and I'm kind of happy about it.
Shit. Oh my God.
No, it's actually going to be DC. So they're going to be apparently dropping the trailer, man, to the Flash, which I'm kind of excited about because usually around this time, DC done already shown you the whole movie and multiple trailers. So this is the first time I think that they've shown anything. I mean, they've shown you like some still shots here and there, but this will be the first time. So we'll see how this run. We'll see if this is going to have the feel of how Marvel rolled out their stuff until then, and see what type of influence that James Gunn is starting to have on the property now. So I'm excited to see that and see what this looks like.
Okay, he learned from the best, so he should know.
Yeah. Did they start paying the performance? That I don't know. I don't know if they started paying them or not. To be very honest, I would think some of these. They get paid in I guess on some some back end stuff there, but I think that front up performance wise, they hadn't. Now it's no longer under Pepsi though. Now it's under who's the halftime people now? It's under a different company. Pepsi doesn't have them anymore now, so it'd be curious to see how this goes. So, hey, what else we got, man? What else we got on this wonderful pregame episode itself? So, have y'all did any betting yet? Anybody put in a bet in yet? No?
I will after this.
Yeah, they will.
I will after this. Yeah, we were going through, Eric and I were going through everything from BetMGM, FanDuel, DraftKings.
Okay.
Found a couple free bets in there.
Mad as hell, man. I got a $57 BetMGM bet that I wasted on the Knicks game. Fucking Grimes and shit. Piece of
Why
shit.
wouldn't you wait?
I know, but you know why? Because with that $57, you can't split that up. So it was like an all-in-one. So I was so I was like, you know what? I made a safe bet for the Knicks and 76ers game. Grimes, I just needed him to get 8 points. He got 6 points because I was going to flip that and double it.
Right.
You know,
how are we going to NBA all of a sudden?
Apparently, you deserve that because there's never a safe bet with the Knicks. But I excuse myself. Go ahead, continue.
Never ever. So that brings us to this, man. For this game, what is your each one of us? What is your pick for the game, and what is who's your MVP, man?
That's why you about to lose your fucking quarterback, you piece of shit.
Wow! Oh my God! Wow. Can you
live? Keep going.
And he waited.
Sorry.
It's like stirred and like manifested from like
waited.
I can't.
It's like, look, shall I use this one? Shall I use that?
You can't mute me. That's why you about to lose your quarterback. Yeah.
Wow.
Oh man.
So, who do you got, man? And who's your MVP?
You said who's winning and who's the MVP?
Yeah.
I have the Eagles winning. And MVP, I give it to Hurts. It's kind of like MVP of the league. It's hard for it to go to somebody else other than the quarterback. So
gotcha. What you got, Earl? You got 3 seconds.
All right, give me more than 3 seconds. I got the Eagles winning, and I'm going with Hurts.
Okay. I got the Chiefs winning, man, and I got Patrick Mahomes getting his MVP. I think we're gonna see some amazing stuff this week. Today.
Well, okay. Well, since I guess he did that. I mean, it's hard to ever go against Patrick the Great.
Jordan.
Mm-hmm.
But that being said, I just think that the Eagles just have played on a different level this year than the Chiefs. So I mean, I gotta go with the Eagles for this one.
They be whooping everybody's ass. I ain't gonna hold you.
Yeah, I think they're just on a different level. So just like I said, I mean, if it goes to the Eagles, then it's going to end up going more likely to Hurts.
And actually, I don't feel bad losing to them because we kept them within 7. with their starters and our backups.
It don't
So
matter what you did.
It don't
matter.
Well, shout out to the Giants,
It
man.
don't matter what you did.
Shout out to the Giants, man.
Hey, hey, G-Fish, I'm not, man. I'm just saying, bro. Like, you know, nothing against you, but I know y'all Philly fans are turned right now. Y'all are ready to go.
So speaking of in Philly, you know they got
I knew he was gonna do that too.
The mayor of Philly said that all schools in Philadelphia is gonna have a delayed opening because of the Super Bowl.
Hey,
win or lose.
Win or lose.
Oh, we spoke about that too, did we not? Yeah.
So, I'll say this though. I'll say this, and I'm gonna need y'all legit Philly fans, because I didn't realize this was a thing, but this happened. I know that they grease the light poles because people's climbing up the light
that shit
poles.
Ain't work.
But I'm also need y'all not to be eating horse poop.
What?
Yes. So apparently, after the last Super Bowl win,
not so breaking news.
Yes, man.
Right.
These yeah, man. Oh God, I didn't know this, and I found this out because I'm listening to another pod. I had to look it up and sure shit. Literally. So of course they grease the light poles just like they did in DC after, you know, teams, you know, their fans get a little rambunctious and they, you know, don't want them to damage and hurt themselves. But motherfuckers was eating horse poop, man. Just random point because, you know, they have the crowd control. They ate horse poop, bro, after the last championship.
So when you say they, you talking about more than one person.
Yes, man. Yes. It's, I don't know what that, you know what, Gary, I'm gonna have to get you.
You say it's just Philly fans doing it?
It happened. I don't know if anybody else happened, but it happened in the last Philly championship win.
What color were they?
It don't matter. It don't even answer
matter, son.
It does not matter.
Doesn't matter. It does not matter at all. It's just like, why would you? I don't. This is. Nah, I guess.
Earlier we were talking about with the chick on stage when she pissed on the guy.
Well, yeah. Oh, she from Philly too? Because she.
No. I didn't say she. I was just saying it.
I mean, she fall right in. Shit.
Oh,
these motherfuckers eating shit and she pissing on. I mean, at least she drank a lot of water though. That's good.
G-Fish, man, welcome to the show, man.
Hey, salute to the panel, man. So, yo, Shawn, you is the biggest hater on God's green earth, bro. You know what I'm saying? Hey, look, man, y'all not gonna be stick riding Mahomes or whatever, yo. He gonna get his face ran in today. So what I tell you the last time I was up here, respect the defense, 70 sacks. That's Sam Reddick. I said that. Hey, yo, and my man, I'm sorry we had to do y'all greasy like that. Y'all was talking all that smack. You know what I'm saying? You tell Danny Dimes he is not Vic or nothing, man. Don't disrespect the great.
Oh my God.
That's all right. Y'all team breaking up next year though, so enjoy it while you laugh.
Man, we don't want to hear that. Hey, look, man, everything. Yo, check this out, man. Everybody got all the accolades on my team and still get no respect. That is crazy. And then you talking about some horse poop or whatever, yo, and you caught yourself. Hey, yo, ain't no polls, pause. Ain't no polls been greased in DC for no championships. Remember that. Pause. Y'all out here violating on this good Sunday when my team in the joint. The whole panel was talking smack a couple of weeks ago. Y'all remember that when I called it? Yeah. Hey, you see how that worked out?
Are you seeing the video?
You see how y'all, but you see how it worked out though. Now we all sit here watching my team in when I called it 2-3 weeks ago. Yo, give me my respect, bro.
I know. All I said was, I'm gonna eat them not eating the horse poop. That's all I said.
Hey man, it look like my man.
G-Fish, I was not against your team because I don't have an NFC team. So I actually was going with Philly. I wasn't with the Giants to them. So just for a point of reference.
Man. I respect my man with the Giants, man. I gave him a light tap, but the rest of this was on Shawn. Shawn woke up with violence today. He said, yo, man, who you got today? Well, I got the Chiefs. You know why I got the Chiefs? Because I really don't like the Eagles. Nah, bruh. Nah, bruh.
I still love you, man. I still love you.
Hey, last thing. Hey, yo, man, my man had it on the had it right on the panel. He was like, "What color are they?" You talk. Come on, bro. You really
I already know
that, bro.
Yeah, I mean, I already know. I just wanted somebody to confirm it. I already know.
You just saw it for yourself, so it's just I can't.
Oh man,
it's gonna be a good game, man. On the end of the day, like I'm going with Patrick Mahomes, guy. But at the end of the day, I salute what Jalen Hurts has done and overcome. And if he balls out, everybody's a winner. In this case, I guess except for the Chiefs,
everybody's not a winner. It's only one winner.
All right, let me break this down real quick, bro. Let me ask you this.
Yeah, what's up?
It was football talk, right?
Yeah.
All right, well, check this out. The last two teams that we beat, right? Jalen ain't had good games. That's the running game. That is an ugly situation when you know he can have a good passing game.
No, he can.
And an RPO. So it's like, I don't know what everybody thinking. Like, Patrick Mahomes is not gonna throw them all the way to a win with a hurt ankle, and you got Hassan Reddick. Like, y'all need to respect that defensive line, bro. Defense, Shawn, wins championships.
I got you. Not my only thing is we're gonna find out.
I do agree with what he just said, Shawn. Hence watch the Baltimore Bullies. Just throwing it out there. Go ahead.
Yeah, I get you that. All I'm saying is we're gonna find out if he has to throw a lot, how injured that shoulder is or is not. That's my thing. If they get down because of like some turnovers, some fluke stuff like that, and if he's forced to throw, if he goes out there and balls out, hell, he got it. But if that shoulder is not right, then we're gonna find out really early at the end of the day. So that's.
Well, let me ask you this: Why everybody on the Eagles got to prove something and Kansas City don't have to prove nothing? This ain't the team that won the Super Bowl. There's only a couple of players on that team.
I mean,
if I'm not mistaken,
if anything else, the only person he doesn't have to prove it. But I'll tell you this though: if they go out and then win this game, the Chiefs behind Patrick Mahomes on that bum leg, anybody who had any doubt if he was the greatest quarterback we've seen ever, that'll be this time. So I mean, if anybody has anything to prove, I'll say him, perhaps.
How you get put on the pedals the greatest quarterback when you only won one Super Bowl, even if you made them appearance? Last time I checked, wouldn't that be like the Buffalo Bills? So the Buffalo Bills are the greatest team when they went back to back 3 times and lost?
But are we talking about team or are we talking about quarterback?
I'm talking about quarterback. Is he not? Does he
4 times lost?
Yeah.
All right, so does he not take the win or the loss, right? If I'm not mistaken, if they lose, it's his fault. If they win, it's his fault, right?
More than like that's how these things go, yeah. But the question the question is, I said if he goes out there and he wins this on that bum leg, because even right now, everybody's picking, even the betting line, as Philly as a favorite because of the injury situation, and then the team overall that Philly has is a better equipped team from top to bottom, except maybe at the quarterback position. That being said, if he goes out there and has a game,
see that?
If he goes out and has a game, man, on that bad leg against this team out there that they're picking against them, what's the argument in that case? I mean, hell,
the argument is that y'all don't like the Eagles. It don't matter what they did. If the roles will reverse, it'll still be the same hate.
I don't like the Eagles.
I don't like the Eagles. I'll make that known.
Y'all was not talking that smack when Patrick Mahomes first came on the scene. When he got to the Super Bowl, it wasn't all the other stuff. Jalen get in the joint and everybody just dumping on the team. Well, you can't do this and you can't do that. And then 49ers game, 49ers players still complaining.
But you know what? So I would say like me, Shawn, and Dave, we got biased hate with the Eagles because we in the same division. You know what I'm saying?
That's not like it's Dallas hate.
But even with that hate for me, I don't know. Shawn shit a little different. Even with that hate for me, I can't stand y'all fucking fans. I hate the Eagles fans because y'all obnoxious as shit. But the players and the organization, I fucks with. I fucks with the organization because y'all keep a black quarterback. I fucks with Hurts because he's always counted out. You know what I'm saying? So I'm rooting for him. That's why even as a Giants fan, as somebody who's in the NFC East, I can sit up here and say, yo, I'll rock with y'all. Now, had this been the Cowboys, fuck no.
But that's different. That's a different level. I'm talking about 49ers fans still crying. And then you got the players. You got the players on Twitter. You got the players on the show still talking about they want a fair fight. If Jalen Hurts, they would have re-injured his shoulder, and then they would have not missed you out. We would have had the third string quarterback. You think they would have had all the sorrows and stuff for the Eagles? They'd been like, nah.
That game would have still ended the same way. They ain't matter. They just bitter.
Yeah,
Purdy was not gonna beat us, man.
Yeah, that was gonna happen. That was gonna happen either way. Just from the way the D line was just pressuring them, that was gonna happen either way. In that case, but yes, there's no hate towards Philly. I'm just looking at what I see. That's all.
And don't be trying to act like they don't get rowdy in DC. I got some free tickets and went to a DC game, and y'all was beating the Lions. And I seen some people trying to get some bid, and y'all was talking mad smack. And y'all had ring around the rosy around the fans where they couldn't even get out of the joint talking smack, and y'all beat the Lions.
I mean, look, I'm not saying nothing against the DC fans. Me and Dave saw a guy get 2-piece leaving the game after like that big snowball game. Like he got there was acting a little rambunctious, and he got put to sleep in the snow. So I'm not mitigating none of that. So
I straight disrespected y'all. I went in the skybox. Y'all wasn't even playing us. Y'all was playing, I think, Pittsburgh. I walked in there straight up with the Vic jersey on, like, what up?
I mean,
and everybody, you know what everybody did? Jumped on the bandwagon. Yeah, we do respect the 757. You know what I'm saying? I know.
DC are home games, man.
Absolutely.
That's the only non-NFC East supporter and fan in here. I find this conversation rather entertaining.
It's always a good time.
I see that. I caught it. I said, I knew Shawn was gonna throw salt in the game, and I wanted to take a jab at my Giants, man.
Chief Fish. Real quick, I want to ask this question.
Yeah.
Do you agree that there were a good amount of also Eagles fans that didn't believe?
Absolutely.
If we go back a couple years ago,
yo, man, if it was a fifth, man, like y'all bringing up old shit, man.
I'm
look, check this out. I'm gonna keep it a buck.
The answer is yes.
I'm gonna keep it a buck. Now I'm gonna break it down. All right, look, you lost. Think about it. A quarterback that lost his job in the championship, right?
Mm-hmm.
And this is before we looking at him from that level, right? We like, dang, y'all drafted him and we paid all that money to Wentz. So that's why Eagles fans were scratching their heads. So then you got the history of that, right? And then, and I had the same thing too. But then I started looking at the specials, start looking at his interviews. Then in the beginning, how they start putting it together, and I'm like, well, dang, like. I counted him out, but I'm like, he balling. He improved. He went into the season, and then he did the work in the off season. So it's like you gotta respect that. And then on top of that, I didn't know that he was cool with the Mannings. The Mannings was helping him out in the off season. He worked out with Tom Brady. I didn't know all that other stuff, so I went and did my research. So y'all can't hit me with the. I'm not the typical fan where I ain't gonna go ahead and do the research. I was a defensive coordinator. I watched tape.
No, I asked that because it seemed like it took a while for the organization to actually get behind him too. This is the first time he's surrounded by a team like this.
Didn't they boo Donovan McNabb at draft night too?
The GM it didn't take a while. If you watch the interview with our GM, he wanted him.
Right. Yeah. I mean, he's there.
Even Kelsey, because Kelsey, the Kansas City brother asked the other brother for Philly. He was like, yo, he said, I already knew that they was going to go after him. There was a couple people in the building that was pushing to get him. So the team, they knew the team chemistry. People didn't rock with Wentz. And I think Philly helped Wentz, right?
Yeah.
Once they made that statue,
it was a wrap.
He had an MVP season, right?
Yeah, it was a wrap.
It was like, yo, I did all the work and y'all praising this man. It wasn't never the same.
Yeah, it was a wrap. His mental ain't been right since that.
That's a different level of disrespect, yo. But I agree though. Man.
Yeah, you got to go to work every day and see that.
Yo, that's the equivalent of walking into your house and a man sitting down eating your sandwich and playing your Xbox. Like, Nick, what's happening here?
Doug Peterson, he I know he got a statue, but Nick Foles got one too.
Yeah.
What do you mean? About, Earl?
That's
the statue.
Oh no, I thought it was. I thought it was. I mean, I'm saying I know Doug Peterson had one, but I thought
I didn't. They together.
That's the one.
Oh, they together.
When they call the Philly.
Yeah. Hey, man, we gotta get out here, man. I appreciate you, G Fish, man. It's gonna be a good game. I'll text you during the game and whatnot.
Hey, man, don't disrespect the Rockley statue. You see what happened, yo.
Facts. And stop eating. Tell your fellow fans stop eating horse shit. That's just crazy. I don't like it at all. It's
man. Hey, look, get to the Super Bowl in digital age. Holla.
Facts.
Wow.
Hey yo, so is that the first time a backup QB has ever had a statue?
Once again, for point of reference, my team has done it. We've got to the Super Bowl and won in the digital age.
Yeah, mine too.
All right, man.
Is that the first time a backup QB has a statue?
I don't know. I have no idea, but I'll say that is the most disrespectful thing. I mean, it may not be intentional, but because that was their first championship that they won.
It was intentional, bro.
So let me ask you this. Let me ask you this: as a Commander, Chief, Redskins, whatever y'all call it, what's more disrespectful? Is it the statue that they put up of Shawn Teller, or that shit that the statue that they put up of Foles and Doug Peterson?
No, that ain't Foles. As much as I hate that Shawn Taylor is disrespecting his legacy, but that.
I think that shit was Shawn Teller that they put up. That was a mannequin, bro.
It is. At least Nick Foles won.
That wasn't even
at least Nick
Foles.
Yeah, it wasn't. That was Wires. Yeah.
No, it wasn't. Right. Yeah, it wasn't disrespectful to Nick Foles. It was disrespectful to Carson Wentz. You had to walk past that shit every day and be like, damn.
But at the end of the day, at least he won. That Shawn Taylor thing, bro.
Yeah, that shit.
Yo, and you know the ill thing? You know, I just thought about it. He got a statue and he's still in the motherfucking league.
Listen.
And he's still living. He's still somebody's backup. He's still somebody's backup, bro.
Listen,
hey, that shit was disrespectful, bro.
That Shawn Taylor joint, somebody went up in Champ Sports and just pulled it out.
Yo, he's still fighting for a spot for relevancy, son, and he got a statue in Philadelphia, bro.
It's
there you go.
Yeah.
Yep.
In any case, man, we appreciate you guys tapping in. Go let you enjoy the show. I hope you enjoyed the show, brother. Make sure that you guys do subscribe to the YouTube channel, man. Make sure you follow us on Instagram and Facebook at the Hot Seat Podcast. Enjoy your Super Bowl Sunday. Hey, you can meet me in 30 minutes over on Over the Hump for our big game special. I'm your resident DJ while I'm cooking and doing everything else at the same time. Some more Super Bowl factoids, whatever you want to do. If you're listening on your Alexa app, just say, hey, Alexa, play Shawn Xavier on amp. Whatever you want to do, man. Hey, man, we appreciate you guys. Yo, it's a hot seat. Where did that even come from? Oh my God, man. Yo, man. Oh my God, man. Yo,
remember that combo we had yesterday?
Oh my God. Yo, we out, man.